Hello and welcome to the Surprisingly Music Podcast. My name's Taryn. Next to me is my lovely host Trevor. And today,
co-host.
cohort. Today we'll be talking about legendary blues rock garage band duo.
Garage band. What? Okay, I'll take it.
The Black Keys and their album Thickfreakness.
Yeah, so
which I thought was like a Bill Murray title.
it kind of is. Bill Murray, Bilmuri.
Yeah.
Check him out. I'm totally, absolutely cranking my effing hog to that music.
Dude, it is so good.
It's actually really good. It's not my type of music at all, but it's so good.
But it's good.
All right, yes, so Thickfreakness by the Black Keys. I chose this album, so that means Taryn will be choosing the next one, which we'll talk about at the end of the podcast. A little background on us for new listeners, since, we're new to this. This is like, our ninth, surprisingly, music?
Yeah.
Eighth, maybe? I think it's eighth.
I think it's eighth.
Because we did our eighth Surprisingly Sober podcast. Check that out, where we just shoot the shit.
So you're definitely a more blues rock oriented listener, but you're also like into like a lot more like classic rock, like the Beatles.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, where I'm more modern punk and metal side of music. So we're definitely both in the realm of rock, but we're
at the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, so like this album is a little bit of our first divisive album, I
would say so too, and we're going to get real deep on this podcast because I know why why it's divisive for us.
I think you're going to be surprised by why I have my opinions of this album and what I like about the album.
Yeah. So background on the podcast, it's why we call it Surprisingly Music and Surprisingly Sober, our other podcast, is because I get drunk and Taryn does not drink, doesn't do anything.
And that is the surprising part.
That is the surprising part. You fucking watch this guy act and you're like, he isn't on something? He should be on something for sure.
Yeah, Ritalin.
Yeah.
Or Adderall. No, I was prescribed Adderall. That's right.
And you didn't take it. You just sold it for lots and lots of money to buy your Gucci shirt.
That is not true. I got the Gucci shirt for free.
Yep. All right.
Because I bought other clothes and the guy threw it in.
Today's beer is Hazelicious by fucking Rhubarb or whatever. I don't fucking know.
Hazelicious? Is it like hazel based? Like...
No, it's a hazy IPA.
Oh, okay.
Whatever the fuck that means. So Thickfreakness by the Black Keys. It is their second studio album. It's their second album. I hate it when people say it's their second studio album. It's like it's their second album. They don't have any live albums before this.
Okay, yeah.
So the Black Keys are made up of two people: Dan Auerbach on guitar and Patrick Carney on the drums. Patrick Carney, fun fact, actually used to play guitar, and he was pretty good at guitar. Then he accidentally cut off his pinky, so he switched to drums.
Can I interject one quick thing on our young Patrick here?
Yeah.
He looks like he deserved every swirly he got through fucking school, okay?
Okay, there, Jack White.
His smarmy fucking face. I hate the way he looks.
Okay, we'll get into that. He
looks like he's pouting in every picture. I looked and looked. I looked at pictures of him with his wife, and he looked like he was pouting. Like, what is his fucking deal?
It's the blues, man.
It gets to you.
We'll talk about that, because I think that's a good thing to get into a little bit later when we get into the history of the Black Keys.
All right.
So
is this an essay on the Black Keys, or are we talking Thickfreakness?
I'm gonna give him. If you shut the fuck up.
All right.
Okay, so their second studio album. Patrick and Dan are the two members of Black Keys. Now there are one or two more members, but it's like Green Day. You only know the original three. They don't talk about the other ones.
Yeah.
Which was funny, as I think that...
Are they studio members or live members?
Both.
Both, okay.
Yeah. They're both. They actually may only be live.
Okay.
Just so they can play the songs, but I think they may... Because that brings us to this one. This album was only recorded with those two. Mm-hmm. Nope. Patrick was the only producer on it. He was the only producer. It was recorded in Patrick's basement in Akron, Ohio, which is where they're from. One thing I thought was really funny, a fun fact I saw about the album, was that they recorded it in the basement on an 8-track recorder because they spent the small advance they got from the record label on rent. That's what gives it the vintage kind of raw sound.
Okay, so that definitely explains a lot about the album. But I would also argue that's kind of their fault for not negotiating a better fucking deal.
Yes. Well, which is actually a good point, because their first album, The Big Come Up, was really good and well received. It was a good album. It was actually what they call it, an album. It was more of an EP.
Was that one done in a studio? Like an actual studio?
That one was, if I remember correctly. I only saw a small documentary on it.
That's so weird to take a step backward in terms of quality of production.
You say that. This album was huge for them. One of the singles off of it, Set You Free, was in School of Rock.
Funny enough, that's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, it is one of mine as well. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So obviously, as we mentioned before, blues, rock, garage rock. It's very, very bluesy. It's very hardcore bluesy.
I would not say hardcore, but yeah.
Well, just raw.
Yeah.
Like a lot of hot sauce, a lot of distortion.
Yeah.
Which I love referring to as hot sauce.
Yeah.
It is the hot sauce of music, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Classical music is British food, and then you American it up with some hot sauce. Make it good, Fuck you, Brits. 1776.
And then you throw some squid and EDM in, and you got J-pop.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. This album got them a lot of comparisons to another big group at the time.
Can I guess who it is?
Go ahead.
It's the White Stripes.
Yes, it was the White Stripes. And that leads me into just a fun thing that I wanted to talk about. I did a lot of research. I went to more than one website.
Oh, God.
I went to more than one website.
Wait, did you go to page 2 of Google?
No, not that far.
Okay.
I wasn't that desperate.
You were in the deep web.
No, I wasn't fucking. So a lot of people who like the Black Keys like the White Stripes and vice versa.
Yeah, they're pretty
which also their names.
That's like liking Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, but they get along.
Yeah.
But it's even in the name, the Black Keys and the White Stripes.
Yeah,
it's referring to a piano. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is how it starts. 2010. For some reason, Jack White of the White Stripes banned Dan Auerbach from Black Keys from Jack's record label, Third Man Records in Nashville. Now, Nashville's kind of become the hub of music.
Yeah.
Especially for country and this blues garage rock.
Yeah.
So that happened. For some weird, strange reason, nobody can really tell why until 2013, Jack White was going through a divorce with a musician named Karen Elson.
Was that the one who was in the White Stripes?
No.
Okay.
No. That one, they broke up. The one that he was married to, Meg, in the White Stripes, they broke up in 2003, early on in the band. The band was only just going. And then they stayed together for another, the band stayed together for another 10 years. But they were going through a divorce, and she was trying to get a restraining order on him for some reason, so that kind of, context clues.
Yeah.
I love Jack White, but he does not look pretty in this. So, she released some emails she leaked some emails where Jack said about Dan Auerbach and his kids going to the same school together. He said, "That's a possible 12 years I have to spend sitting in kids' chairs next to that asshole with other people trying to lump us together. He gets yet another free rein to follow me, copy me, and push himself into my world."
Is Jack a 12-year-old?
You know what? Yes.
Yeah,
that was very childish, but the Black Keys actually responded to that because somebody asked them about it, and they took the high road, and they were going on look, divorce is messy. Those are personal emails. You say a lot of things in the moment. We don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fucking great.
Yeah, the Black Keys handled it well in that specific scenario.
6 days later, Jack White doubled down on those leaked emails. So 6 days later, after the Black Keys got asked, so this is the interview would come out. It's obviously in the news. 6 days later, after the Black Keys said that, he doubled down and talked about in an interview about how he opened up the door for musicians like the Black Keys, like how Amy Winehouse did for Adele. Which I thought was a weird comparison.
Yeah.
But, like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, yeah, we get it, but when you say it, it sounds really smug.
Yeah, like, it really sounds so asshole-ish. It's unbelievable that someone thinks that way.
About themselves.
Yeah.
Like, if one of us were to say it about, you know, a band that we loved, if we were to say it about Jack White, it would be like, oh, we're fans, we, you know,
Yeah.
You know? But when you say it about yourself, you're kind of an asshole. And I love Jack White. I'll say that a lot. So, a day later, White apologized. But it was the most over-the-top apology. Like, I hope your records stay in the charts for months and months and months. And it's just like...
All right, so which of your agents told you to fucking apologize?
So, yeah. So, that happened. So, it was just a really over-the-top apology. Yeah. I didn't buy it. I didn't really buy it. In 2015... this is the last thing of the
So I think we're 8 years past the release of Thickfreakness.
Oh no, we're 12. We're 12 years later. I'm just giving a history of the Black Keys.
All right,
but it's going to be over quick. This is the last thing.
All
2015, right. Patrick, from the drummer, said that Jack tried to fight him in a New York City bar.
I've heard about this
on a Twitter tirade. I remember when this happened because this was 2015. I had just seen both the White Stripe or Jack White and the Black Keys within like the same year live. Yeah.
Didn't we see the Black Keys together?
We did on Halloween.
We did. It was a really good concert. I
enjoyed
it.
It was
the
fun.
Opening act sucked, but
Jake Bugg, yeah. I remembered him. I liked a couple of his songs, but then he has that Bob Dylan voice, which I fucking hate.
Then why do you do it all the time?
Because it's fun to do.
Oh my god.
Do it. Hey, everybody.
No.
Okay, it's fair. So, Pat went on a Twitter tirade saying this. Jack is all cool and hipster and does not have a Twitter. He only releases things through his record labels, Third Man Records. He released a statement saying pretty much, no, that didn't happen. If you're going to say shit, say it to my face. Which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Pat erased the tweets and then said that they talked and everything is all good now. So apparently are all
This
fine
is
now.
the most Kardashian level fucking drama I've ever heard.
And this is just supposed to be fucking music, like where we just party and fucking. And it's all it is about someone copying someone's style. Now, that being said, I think that the White Stripes and Black Keys are two different types of blues garage rock.
Yeah, pretty much like the only similarity is that they are blues garage rock duos.
And they have
vaguely similar names. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of this album kicked that off.
Oh, this is the album that started the feud?
Well, this is the album where everyone started comparing the two.
Oh, okay.
Which
is weird because this is the album farthest from what I've heard of the White Stripes anyway. Like, I don't know, this is the furthest from, like, the rest of the Black Keys that I've listened to.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've listened to the El Camino album, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's such a good album.
That is a good album.
And then I heard this album and was like, this is the same band?
The way that I would describe the difference between the Black Keys and the White Stripes is that the Black Keys are controlled blues, and Jack White is uncontrolled blues. Jack White will go on a fucking 3-minute like blues crazy solo that's just off the rails, like, and it's good, but like Dan Auerbach just seems to have more of a melody to it. I don't. That's the really only way I can describe it. So yeah, that's that history. So the album Thickfreakness. We're back to it.
All right,
we actually didn't get that far off topic for that long.
15 minutes of introducing two people.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a crazy feud.
I'm going to hit the button. I feel like now's a good time to hit the button.
Yeah, we should do that. We should hit the button to reset the camera.
Me. Fuck.
I heard it shock you. That was
brutal.
Shocking. So, yeah, back to that thing I was saying that they recorded on that 8-track.
Yes.
which I thought was funny. You know how you have like lo-fi and hi-fi.
Mm-hmm.
They're like we're gonna call this one medium-fi, so medium fidelity, which I thought was kind of funny because it is very raw. So let's get into the song tracking.
Yeah, let me. I guess it's my job to read off the track list.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, I really have not said much except for the beginning when I kept interrupting. So the track list is Thickfreakness, all one word.
Thickfreakness. It sounded like you said dick.
Thickfreakness, Hard Row, Set You Free, Midnight in Her Eyes, Have Love Will Travel, Hurt Like Mine, Everywhere I Go, No Trust, If You See Me, Hold Me in Your Arms, I Cry Alone.
I just want to point out the differences between the song titles of this album and then Anti-Flag. I mean, I Cry Alone, Nazi punks fuck off.
Yeah. Well, that's the Dead
Oh, that's
Kennedys.
the Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was the most recent punk song that I listened
Fuck Police
to.
Brutality.
Yeah. Fuck Police Brutality. What's that
War
one?
Sucks, Let's Party.
The economics hitman. The hitman economist?
It's like
Fuck!
the stories of a economic hitman or something like that.
Something bullshit like that.
Oh, those are lyrics of something I'm working on. Anyway,
Is that a humble brag?
that is a humble brag. If it's good, it's a humble brag. Let's be real.
Oh, you're starting to sound a lot like Jack White.
Yeah. You know,
Greatest ever.
I'm just sick of you ripping me off. You think
Oh god.
you think because you sit across from me, you can just steal from me.
Oh. Fuck.
All right. So Thickfreakness.
So it starts off with that kind of like you're like, okay, this album's gonna be off to a cool start, and then it's got a cool opening riff, which I really like. The thing that I like about it the most is that you can hear the pick hitting the strings.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. Like some people are gonna be like, what is that noise? It's annoying. And you're like, no, that's raw. That's raw. That's like fucking a girl without a condom.
So this.
You're gonna gloss over that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna raw dog this fucking album. Okay.
I know you are. That's what I'm really afraid about.
This riff sounds like what you just will randomly play in the living room, and I swear I've heard you play this like 1,000 times.
I don't know how to play it.
It's
never
just
played it.
one of those like really blues riffs where like whenever we sit down to jam, I feel like you just shit out one of these.
It is so. I'll save that. I'll save what I was about to say for the end of when we're giving the album review. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It
kind of falls into the same realm of punk where like all the guitar kind of sounds the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I would describe it. That's perfect. Good job.
And
Gold star.
Gold stars. Wait, I don't want a gold star. I heard those are bad to get from the 40s. Then they give the Jews gold stars.
They gave them Stars of David.
Oh, okay. There we go. Were they gold? Bet they were gold. I don't know. Were they stickers?
No, they were not. I think they were tattoos.
Oof. Does he say a single word in this song? Because I don't hear him.
Yeah, it's a lot like punk music. What the fuck are they saying? Nothing back to
Pop boys, brutality.
Exactly. So that's
like
okay.
I could not. This song in particular, I could not distinguish a word.
Yeah, no. Most of the songs, it's kind of
Like,
that, he's got that lo-fi effect on his voice.
Yeah.
That you can just like, what is he saying? I don't know what he's saying, but that's the thing about the blues, man, is the guitar or the vocals.
All right, I just don't get it then. Okay, I just don't get blues. Sorry.
I don't get punk music. I like it, but I don't get it. Next song, Hard Row.
Really good riff.
Yeah, it's raunchy, soulful.
It sounds like the most like it would be like on a classic rock radio station.
Yeah.
Like, in a few years, it's going to be on, like, classic rock in the morning.
Yeah, which is weird, because none of the songs off this album are, like, huge, monumental, like...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the next one, Set You Free, was on or was in School of Rock, which the opening drums of this song I think are fucking crazy. The fucking
Oh yeah,
quick, yeah, I love that.
That's why I like it.
Yeah,
But
that was the best song of the album.
Hard Rose definitely like tied for my second favorite on the album. It's a really good song. I liked it.
I've starred 4 songs and those 2 are it.
Okay. Anything else to comment on? I mean, it was just like a good riff to kind of like just like sit there and like enjoy.
Yeah. That's. I mean, wait, which one? Hard Row or Set You Free?
Hard Row.
Hard Row. Yeah. It was kind of raunchy. I like the way the guitar sounded, and then his voice, his like singing. He's got a very smoky kind of voice.
Yeah. Which
kind of is nice.
Yeah.
It's like I would let him fuck my girlfriend if I had one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so then Set You Free, easily the best song on the album. The drums are fucking awesome.
And you can hear what he's saying.
Yeah, like this is the song that is like would be like the one that's playing on the radio station when the album came out.
Yeah.
In my mind. Like
and that's
it's just
why if Jack Black likes it,
yeah,
then we all like it.
Yeah, Jack Black's amazing.
Did you see his last video that he just put out?
No.
It was
I don't watch his videos.
It was his teaser for Jablinski Games or whatever.
Oh my god.
And
he's never going to play a video game.
He was in a Spider-Man suit.
Oh god.
And he was humping the ground and it was weird and I felt uncomfortable and I had to call my mom.
But yeah, it wasn't so like focused on that like ultra bluesy riff style as the rest of the album.
It was more of that garage rock sound.
Yeah.
The rest of the album is pretty blues heavy.
Yeah.
Like I would like I like the old timey blues, like the ones where it sounds like it was recorded through a tin can, by Blind Willie McTell and Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, and this album sounds a lot like that, just modern. Like literally one of the reviews I have on here, like of my own review, is that it just sounds like Delta blues 70, 80 years later.
Yeah.
Just with 2 white boys.
All right, so
they're white. I don't know if you
Set You Free is your favorite as well.
Yeah, it's one of the. Yeah, I'd say it's my favorite.
All right, so Midnight in Her Eyes.
I love this song. I think it's a slow down song. It's good. It's I like it. I know you don't like it.
All right, it is the corniest shit I've listened to, and I listen to fucking Modern Baseball. Okay, who is peak corny Midwest emo. All right.
Wait. There's different regional emos?
Yeah, there's different regional emos.
What does Southwestern emo sound like?
Like, do you mean like a California?
Yeah, I guess that would be California. Would name one like Dance Gavin Dance.
No. Dance Gavin Dance isn't emo at all.
Emo is like, if it was on Warped Tour, it's emo.
No.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, oh no, I feel like Hollywood emo would just be like the Fall Out Boys and like stuff like that. Like all the bands that came out of like that, like mid 2000s. Fall Out Boy, My Chem, Panic at the Disco. Like, they weren't from LA, but they sounded LA.
What's Northwestern emo?
No one cares.
Yeah, because it's awesome.
Nirvana.
Up here. So grunge.
Oof. Anyway,
Foo Fighters. Is Dave Grohl from Aberdeen, Washington?
I don't know.
Because I know that's where Kurt Cobain's from. I imagine that they started there.
I mean, probably.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I typically like a slow song. I feel like this one just didn't have much to offer. It was kind of bland.
It's the guitar. I appreciate the guitar in it.
If it was a color, it'd be beige.
I mean, the album cover is beige.
Is it?
It's like white.
Oh, okay.
But it's got like, I don't know.
All right.
Beige. Go fuck yourself.
Anyway, it's just...
So the next song, Have Love Will Travel, is a great song that you actually know how to play that one on guitar.
That is my least favorite song on the whole album.
Really?
Have love will travel.
Yeah, it's a cover of an old 60s song.
It sounded like fucking cowboy emo.
Oh,
Dude, who needs a fucking
That is a-
fedora when you have a cowboy hat? All right.
that is a mod rock song. I love that fucking song.
Yeah, it was my least favorite on the album, and I skipped it I listened to the album minimum 3 times a day since we recorded the.
Jesus. I probably listen
And
to it at least once or twice a day.
I listened to it for the first 2 days and today, but every other time I skipped it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
it was the only song I consistently skipped. Like, I would skip Set You Free, like, after I was like,
Because
this
you
is-
know it.
Yeah,
You
I
know
was
that
like,
you
I
like
like
that
this song.
Yeah.
On to the next
Uh,
adventure.
Yeah, it's a cover song, so
I didn't
I'm not
know
going to
that.
blame them for it. If you listen to the other versions, there's a version by the Sonics who didn't originally do it, from the '60s, that I think sounds pretty good. But I think their version is the best that all the versions I've listened to. They made it theirs, which I appreciate about a cover
Yeah.
song. I don't like cover songs where
like
they
that-
do it beat for
Beat for
beat.
beat.
Yeah, make it your own.
Like that one dude we were watching on YouTube, the guy who's like, if My Chemical Romance wrote,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
like does it in the style of the band. Where like if the band actually did it, they would just do like it like the song.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
But didn't he do a song? Didn't he do a song that a band had covered in the style of that band?
I think so.
I can't
But then
remember who it was.
But then he did it better.
Yeah, no, that was the
Because
thing.
like,
It's like
he like for example, like if Blink 182 did this song, he made it sound like it was just an original song by Blink 182.
yeah, and
Like
was
it had like
good.
the whole vibe. But if Blink did a cover of say Taylor Swift Love Story, they would just literally do the song as is all
Which
the way through.
which we
Her
just heard
re-recording of it was phenomenal.
that came out in the Match commercial, which is fucking hilarious.
I can't stand Taylor Swift, but that was a damn good recording.
But yeah, that's what's weird. Is it didn't sound different. It
It
just
just sounded so
better.
improved.
And I love Taylor Swift. I have a
Yeah.
whole playlist on Spotify called Tay Tay.
And the next song is Hurt Like Mine,
Hurt Like Mine.
tied for second favorite on the album.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I really, really liked it.
I didn't even start this song as one of my favorites.
The riff was like really repetitive, but it kept my mind engaged the whole way through.
My review for this song is that the guitar are the vocals of this song. The vocals aren't bad,
Yeah.
but the guitar really like gets you fucking moving.
Yeah. Like it's definitely just the same thing pretty much the whole song, but it feels good. Like
Yeah,
it's like,
it does feel good.
It's just like, okay, you wrote a really good riff and I'll enjoy it for these 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Which a lot of the songs, speaking of 3 minutes, a lot of the songs are really long.
yeah, this was definitely cowboy emo. Definitely.
Cowboy emo. Oh my god, I'm never gonna get over that fucking cowboy emo. Eat a dick. Okay, let's just be honest. Country is pandering music.
Oh yeah.
It's shit.
So
It's catchy
the
and sounds great, but it's bullshit.
the difference between, in my mind, blues and country, other than like just obviously the sound, just the overall like kind of vibe they bring, blues is a cowboy. Cowboys are arguably cool. They're tough. Like, like old school cowboys. I mean like real cowboys from way back. Like that's what blues is kind of synonymous with. Country is synonymous with just some fucking hick who just got done boning his sister and some cattle. All right? Blues is better than country by far. Blues has a level of coolness to it. Country doesn't.
Do you know why blues has that level of coolness and country doesn't?
Because they don't fuck cattle.
No, it's because blues was invented by black people.
Hey!
That's why it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of like
Yeah.
documentaries and stuff about like the blues. It was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like it was the shit.
But then Elvis had
it
to
is
come along and steal from the black man.
Man, I've been to where he grew up, and I haven't been to Tupelo.
He was probably just like in the culture.
Well, yeah, he went to black churches. That's what he saw. It's what he knew.
Yeah.
Someone exploited him. He was. If you go into the history of Elvis, He did not make, like, he made money, obviously,
Yeah.
but he didn't make a lot of money because he was
The-
exploited by Colonel Tom Parker. Fuck that asshole.
The one thing that I really appreciate that his manager did, though, was
Oh.
to exploit people who hated Elvis. He sold
sold-
"I hate Elvis" buttons.
Yeah, well, it's fucking smart. That is
Yeah,
fucking smart.
it is smart. I'm gonna
So-
slap that button.
Slap that button there, Davey 504. Slap there like a button. We hate Italians.
As we compliment one. No trust.
No Trust. It's a great song. It's nothing to really write home about, but
Yeah,
what I
so-
liked is the he would go from, like, a nice bassy note, the lower, is it lower or high E string? It's low E string. I play guitar. I should know
the
this.
bottom E string.
Well, when I look at it, it's
Yeah.
the one closest to me.
Yeah,
The thick boy. The
that's
the
why
low
it's the
E
bottom.
string.
When you're looking at like a sheet of paper, this is the closest part to you, the bottom.
Okay, yeah, the bottom E string.
Yeah.
When he hits that, and then he's got some. He works the neck of the guitar.
That's what I'm about to insult.
Is that he's working the neck of the guitar too much?
The
And you like Polyphia, right?
yeah.
Eat a dick, bitch.
So you do it a lot, where it's like you'll like, the like kind of like dun, 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 like then go like way up on the guitar and then like back dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, it's
dun,
working
dun.
the octaves.
And it's just like, I don't know, it just sounds kind of corny to me. I'm not a fan.
I feel like the
Because
popular music, what we see, is like the stuff that's done good that isn't corny, And so you have this like, and that's only like 5 to 10% of all the music that is out there.
yeah,
So I feel like just most music is corny.
yeah,
It's just not. It's to that one person. It's not corny.
yeah.
You're not that one person.
I am not.
You're not that one
This
person.
album is by no means for me. This is
That
not
one song.
This
though.
isn't for me. This is definitely like not like in my world.
No. Yeah, so the thing that I like about it, you hate.
Yeah.
Working the neck of the guitar.
And I love working the neck of the guitar. The intro to Go is the coolest guitar riff ever.
That is a great guitar riff. I would listen to that and I'm just like, huh?
All right. Now this next song is the most excited I am to talk about.
If you see me?
If you see me.
And
Let's you talk.
This is like what I said earlier. This is a blues song almost 80 years later. Like
Yeah.
this is just your Mississippi Delta blues incarnate 80 years later by a bunch of white boys. It's good. I like it. But I also listen to Blind Willie McTell.
So, the intro riff, if this wasn't a 2-piece, if this was a 4-piece, there were guitarist, drummer, and a vocalist, a guy who just did vocals. During like that intro riff, I would expect him to be walking up to a mic stand with the mic in it. He'd be holding his big old belt buckle. He'd tip his cowboy hat to a pretty girl in the crowd. Then he'd leave the mic in the stand while singing this song. That's what this song sounds like. And he would keep holding his belt buckle for some reason.
Why do you think the blues music is country? It is not country at all.
He's wearing a cowboy hat. He tips it.
No, they've never worn a cowboy hat in any of their stuff.
Dude.
Why do you think that it's a fucking country music? Okay, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, all those guys who are the original country guys, that was blues.
Wait, did we talk about Everywhere I Go? I think we skipped that one.
Oh yeah, we did. Well, Everywhere I Go is really slow, and it's 5 minutes and 41 seconds. We can skip that one.
No,
'cause I
6
did.
minutes, one riff.
Pretty much.
It sounds...
You and I both don't. I don't think you and I both don't like this song.
So, if they would have had a camera inside the tent,
Are they wearing a cowboy hat, Taryn?
if they had a camera inside the tent of the Brokeback Mountain gay butt sex scene, this is the song that would play.
How do you know that they had butt sex?
They fucked.
I've never seen the movie, so I don't know what the context is.
All I know is the camera's on the outside of the tent, and it's just heavily implied. And there's like the horse standing outside the tent. I think I haven't seen the movie.
I've seen the memes
Yeah, I know,
of a horse
right?
outside of a tent. Like, hey, you guys,
But no, this
what are you guys
song,
doing in there?
This song sounds like gay slow sex.
With a cowboy hat on?
Damn right.
Okay. What is with your obsession with the cowboy hat? It's not country. I don't know anybody country who likes the Black Keys. They're like, I don't like that rock.
I didn't know country people wore cowboy hats. It's more like a Texas thing. Which I would say they're a different breed than country.
Well, even then, like Texas, like no. Like Texas, yeah, people wear cowboy hats, but not in Austin. And that's where like you find this kind of music.
Okay.
Like, I don't, like, yeah, I guess you find a few cowboy hats in Austin.
Yeah.
I've been to Austin
Probably
once.
older people. Like, dudes in, like, their 50s.
People who are like, Austin used to be cool where you could walk around in just a cowboy hat with your dick out.
No, you had 2 cowboy hats. One for your fucking Peter.
Pedro, because they're really close to Mexico.
All right. Okay, so back down to Hold Me in Your Arms. Unless you want to talk about If You See Me.
If You See Me, like I said, it's just it's a Delta blues song that's got some hot sauce on it.
This hot sauce tastes like shit.
Okay.
All right, so Hold Me in Your Arms.
This was a song that I did star, so I do like this one for some reason.
You don't even know why?
No, actually, I wrote down why I liked it.
Okay.
The guitar is good. I like the guitar. The drums are what get me on this song. I go to the dark side turn on this song. I like the drums. Drumming actually is a talent.
I like the drums and the song overall, but the 2 things I couldn't stand about this song was the intro, like, built up for no reason, because the second the vocals hit, it slowed back down.
Because it's hard to play really good guitar and sing.
It was just like, vocals. And it was just like, what was the build up for?
That beer
Like,
tastes like bread.
it just ended up going nowhere.
That beer tasted like bread.
I'm sorry.
And I don't know if
And
I
then
like it.
the end of the bar for the guitar riff, like, you know, he's going through the riff, it sounded like he was hitting the spring on the back of a door. Like, it was like this, like, boom sound. And I didn't like it, because once I heard it, it was all I could hear.
Like the opening song, Thickfreakness. Now all I can hear is the plucking of the string, and I don't know how I feel about it now. I liked it at first, but I'm actually, the more I've listened to it, I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, so that one is one of my top 4 songs of the album. Hold Me in Your Arms. The drums get me on it.
Oh yeah, the drums are really good. I love the drums.
So the next song, I wrote something down in expecting to be able to write more, and all I could write was for I Cry Alone is Someone Sad.
Yeah, like, is this why, like, people drink?
Yeah.
Like, this song sounds like burying your problems in whiskey. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just like, man, this is like depressingly, like, over the top.
I even put Someone Sad and then a frowny face. Like someone's really sad.
All right. So, overall, it was an album.
Overall, this is an album, like, and I feel like I've said this a lot, that I can put on and listen to. Now, it's not an album that I'm going to rock out the whole way through and just, go, fucking, like, rabies crazy. But there's most of the songs on here I love and can listen to. Like, I'll put this on while doing something. This isn't going to be, like, the focal point of what I'm doing.
I will say I did get used to it the more I listened to it. The first time I listened to it, I was mad. I was like, I have to listen to this all week.
So the other thing too, so I love this album. The one thing, so I'm gonna talk about this. My favorite review was of the Houston Chronicle, and the headline was "White Boys Got the Blues." I was like, I love that because I think it's accurate. They got it. They hit it to a T. They did a good job. It's the best representation of my favorite type of blues.
Okay.
It's a raw vintage sound. It's like I wanted to do a Black Keys album. I didn't want to do some of their more poppy stuff. I didn't want to do El Camino. I felt like that would just been too easy. I wanted to kind of I think we've kind of taken a little too easy. We kind of been doing some
That-
easy ones,
That's why I picked my next band.
which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of go with something that's gonna get us both, reviewing something, like not
Yeah.
just fanboying over something. We're fangirling. We fangirl.
Yeah.
Or fan they.
It's
I don't
because
know.
we're cute.
Yeah. Well, I'm the type of cute where somebody goes like, "Is he cute?" And then somebody was like, "He cleans up nice." You're the type of like.
At least like you're the one who someone's willing to admit that you're their son. Like I feel like my dad just doesn't even tell anyone about me.
Yeah. Was your you have a son? Oh no, I don't.
No, I have a daughter.
I have a daughter.
She's married to a man in the military. Good
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Then there's this kid that fucking stole all my money for 18 years, and then now he wears Gucci shirts.
Damn straight.
But it's got that raw vintage sound. I really liked it. Do you have any good things to say about it?
The instrumentation was great.
Mm-hmm.
The riffs were really good and interesting. They both simultaneously followed and broke a lot of rules of music theory in a very smart way
And that's the blues.
that was really interesting to listen to. Like a lot of it sounded kind of deliberate, while at the same time, like they knew how to play, but they didn't quite know the music theory, which kind of is like that middle ground of what a producer is there for. They produced it themselves. I didn't know that. So a producer will say like, oh, you should change the riff like this. Like, like play this chord here instead of this chord, and then it sounds more cohesive, like a commercial ready product. I feel like they made some bolder decisions on their riffs in terms of chord progression, where it was like kind of more interesting to listen to, but didn't necessarily make it better. But it was like, you're making cool choices, and I appreciate it.
So I think that this album kind of showed me the difference between you and me, because we've been friends for 16 years.
Yeah, this is where our friendship ends, this
Yeah,
album.
this is the end of our friendship. No, this shows the difference between, and I kind of realized why you like the music that you like, and I like the music that I like. You and I both, for the most part, are like, I think we think logically,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely more in touch with my feelings.
How dare you?
You're cold-hearted,
I
evil robot. Beep, borp, zeep, borp.
I touch a lot of people and their feelings.
Physically, not emotionally.
Apparently, I touch them emotionally because they keep coming back.
I meant
and I
your
don't know why.
feelings.
Oh yeah,
Your feelings.
no.
So the blues. I don't know what that was.
The cocaine wearing off.
Yeah.
The cocaine.
Cocaine.
You just listen to blues one time and suddenly you're doing lines before the show.
So you like punk, very like you were talking about music theory. It's very heavy and like you got to do this chord progression, this chord.
Well,
you can't have any mistakes. It's fast.
A lot of punk is anti-music theory. They do a lot of chords in the wrong places. They do chords that aren't chords.
But it's so deliberate.
Yeah.
And then you also like Polyphia, which is crazy.
Crazily precise music theory.
And then a lot of your other bands that you like are also very, I can't
Just
name any of them all.
well produced,
Yeah.
like commercial perfect products.
The blues
Isn't.
isn't. And that's because the blues was invented by, or it wasn't invented, it was mastered by people who weren't educated. They
Yeah.
didn't. They found a
was
guitar and
built
they
up by
they
them.
built it up by them so that the notes that they would miss or add to add a little flavor is now deliberate.
Yeah.
Because the blues scale it's the blues scale is just a normal scale. It's the normal major scale, if I remember correctly, just with a couple little things added in for flavor. Is what I'd call it, for flavor. And that's kind of the difference between you and me, I think, is like you're like more like logic and I'm more like I want to listen to my feelings.
Okay.
Like you and I both think logic.
I hate to keep bringing it back to comparing them to punk, but I feel like the similarity and difference between punk and blues is they're both very freeform, but blues is much more freeform on the instrumentation, while punk is much more freeform on like
vocals.
Yeah. And that's
I
the
completely agree.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the difference where the blues loses me. because
The vocals aren't anything.
Yeah, the vocals don't matter. Like they're there, they sound good at times, but they don't matter. They're not the star of the show.
And if anybody like you don't listen to the blues for the vocals. Like
yeah.
there's not like Jack White is a musician, and if you listen to him sing, like really. Like, come on. Like Dan Auerbach is one of the best blues singers I've ever heard. Like, yeah, there's some guys out there who have great voices, B.B. King, John Lee Hooker, all that sort of stuff. But like, you could play the blues and not be a good singer because it's the guitar, it's the instruments that matter. Because you're finding a rhythm, you're finding a groove.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's all music, but with there's more reliant in the blues music. That's you know, makes you feel good, you know. And you know, punk music, it's talking about, you know, shit that's like, you know,
wrong
the
with
Nazis.
the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which and then that's the other thing I think the difference between you and me is you're like, you know, you're focused on what's going on in the world. I'm focused on what's going on in myself.
Yeah, like all these songs basically revolved around like something going on with a girl or something going on with how sad I am. And it was like pretty much the two main topics of every song on the
except Thickfreakness. What the fuck is that?
There weren't words. It wasn't about anything.
What? There was... I just want to say that there was not one pop culture reference in this thing. In this whole album. Not one pop culture reference. I'm kind of blitzed.
Should there have been? Like, is that a thing in blues?
Pop culture, news, something like that. Okay. Like there would be in punk.
Like you could listen to it any year and it really wouldn't matter because there's no like reference to like...
It doesn't date it.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, fuck George Bush never comes up in it.
Yeah, which is like California Uber Als.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be like people now are going to be like, who's Jerry Brown?
Yeah, and then they're going to Google it and see what he did and be like, oh man, that's fucked up.
Yeah, he was like, governor of California.
Like what we had to do to figure out why
I knew who he was, but
Jerry
I didn't know what he did. What did he do?
I don't remember.
Exactly. It wasn't that fucking big of a deal because he was the governor of California. You want to know who else was governor of California? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The greatest Redditor of our time.
He is. He's a wholesome motherfucker. Oh, yeah, we should probably do that.
All right, so I feel like it's time to rate the album.
Well, one thing I wanted to kind of talk about real quick. My last review of the album, because I feel like I've been fangirling over this album.
Yes.
It was repetitive.
Yeah.
A lot of the songs blended together. And they weren't bad.
I had to, so...
You had to check and see what fucking song you were listening to.
No, I had to just put songs on repeat to be sure. I was sure I was listening to the right song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
And then...
like, which song is this? I've listened to this for years.
This morning, when I got home from work, I came down here. I worked a little nights? On the computer. Huh?
Do you work nights?
Yes. I worked on my computer a bit because it was having some buggy issues that I sorted out.
I was going to say it shut off.
Oh, I shut it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And then I played each song one by one with a notepad open, and it's like wrote like long form notes on the computer, and I didn't want to just like read a script for my notes. That's why I just had like little bullet points that like had like 3 or 4 words each line.
Logic, feelings, because I have a page.
Yeah,
I have almost 2 pages.
You have 2 pages, most of it talking about drama.
Yeah, actually, this whole half of the first page is the fucking feud between the Blackies and the White Stripes.
Like I listened to each song twice this morning, and I would just like write out my little notes. Then I would hit next song, write out my little notes.
Yeah, that's what I did last night. So
okay,
sat in front of my computer, Googled Black Keys versus White Stripes.
So definitely a lot of the songs blended together.
It was repetitive, but kind of like a good way, you know, kind of like getting.
Like the nice thing about it is like you kind of like lose the... Something I like to use music for is to kind of just like zone out and not be focused on the music, and also like be only half focused on what I'm doing and just kind of autopilot my way through. And this album's really good for that because it doesn't really like... I'm not saying like it doesn't hold your attention like in a bad way, but it's definitely one of those albums where like it could just be playing and it just like occupies enough of your brain to where you're not like distracted.
So that's another thing that you just made me think of.
Don't wag your fucking pen at me.
I love these pens too. Can we get sponsored by Papermate? That makes me think that like like when you have a song that comes on and you're like singing along to the lyrics, that distracts you. The singing part of it. Yeah. This is you can't understand what the fuck he's saying half the time. So you kind of get in that rhythm. So you might like tap your fingers along to it, but your brain is your body is focused on the music. Your brain is focused on whatever you're working on. So it is a very good background.
Except music. For when Have Love came on, because then my brain was just filled with rage.
Oh my god! Why do you hate that song? We already talked about it.
It's terrible. All right, so final rating.
Final rating. I'll go first since
yours is going to be above the halfway point.
You know what? I wrote on here 8 out of 10.
I know. I've been looking at it for a while.
I wrote on here 8 out of 10, but I feel like I want to change it to a 7. I'm going to change it to a 7.
You need to actually change it.
I'm changing it to a 7. No, it's written. I'm going to sell this for a lot of money one day on eBay when we're like Joe Rogan famous.
Yeah.
I'm going to have Joe Rogan come on this. And sell it for a lot of money.
I thought you were going to say, like, on the podcast, but no, you meant...
No, I don't want him on the podcast.
Yeah.
What does he know about music? I've listened to his
that
music.
That meatball would take up more than this
that
chair.
Meatball?
Dude,
oh my god.
He's a white boy.
He's a meatball.
He's white.
Yeah, but he's jacked.
Yeah. I give it a 4. I consider 5... like just a middle ground album.
Like your average album.
Yeah, just your average album. And this album's just not for me, and it sits below average.
That's the other difference between you and I, is you're thinking of it as a fucking bell curve. And I'm thinking of it as in like A, B, C, D grades.
Yeah, no. So when I say 8, that means I have a very high opinion.
Yeah, it's in the fucking 80th percentile. Yeah. Is that a thing?
No, it'd be in the 95th percentile.
Eat a dick, you math bitch.
But anyway, it's just below average. I'm maybe Set You Free will get played again, but other than that, I'm never going to listen to this album.
Like when School of Rock comes on, you're gonna be like, I like it.
But I didn't like dislike the album, so I'm not gonna be like, it's a 2.
What is your number for dislike? Would it be 3 or 2?
3 is getting into dislike territory.
3 is like, why'd you make me listen to this shit? And 2 is like, fuck off. 1 is like, we're not friends anymore.
The first listen was definitely a 2 to a 3 range, where I was just like,
God damn it.
Let's do this.
I gotta say, like, with the couple that you've given me too, it's been like, I usually go into it, the first one, the Dead Kennedys, I was like, I'm gonna fucking hate this. And then I started listening to it, and I'm like, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember what I ended up giving
I'm never gonna give you something that I think you'll hate. I'm gonna give you stuff that will like surprise you.
Yeah, but we also gotta go kind of weird.
Oh,
so we're gonna get weird people. So that brings us to the next one that I'm gonna write right here, so I can do it again.
So, after listening to this album, I was really tempted with what I wanted to give you. Did I want to
go the high road or the low road?
Not so much that. It was like, did I want to try and find a perfect album? Because like I talked about that before, where it was like all 10, 11 songs are absolute bangers. Like, am I going to give you All Killer No Filler by Sum 41, one of my favorite albums of all time? No.
Is that the one with all the hits on it?
Yeah, it's got like Into Deep.
Fat
Lip, Still Waiting. It's All Killer No Filler.
I was going to say.
It's right there in the title. And I was like, nah, Sum 41 falls into the same. Like, I went Dead Kennedys, Anti-Flag, Sum 41. I'm just going up to pop punk. Like, okay, so I'm not going to do that.
We've already done Paramore, so we've done pop punk.
Yeah, but I mean, like, traditional pop punk. But anyway.
Wow. Someone got hot takes.
They're one of the big 4 of pop punk.
Paramore?
No. Sum 41.
Really?
Paramore is like MySpace era. It'd be like them, Good Charlotte, Newfound Glory, and Blink.
Oh fuck! I remember Good Charlotte. I've never listened.
Anthem is great.
I've never listened.
We'll listen to it at some point. Anyway, then I was like, huh, or maybe I could go in the same direction you did and give you an emo album and go Welcome to the Black Parade or Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. I think that's it. They're both My Chem albums. Then I was like, nah, I don't want to give him My Chem. He's not going to have a good time. So I was like, it would be fun. A sub 100,000 listener band.
Okay.
So I picked one of the greatest albums of the past decade that is pretty damn unheard of. It is the most avant-garde fucking album I listen to. It is
avant-garde with French.
It is called Pink Lemonade.
Ooh, wait. I've heard of this.
By Closure in Moscow.
I've never heard of it. Pink Lemonade.
The album is one story told in linear progression by Closure in Moscow.
You know what? Just because you gave me one of these, I get to make you listen to an album like that. And so welcome to the Magical Mystery Tour, motherfucker. You were the walrus, bitch. Wait, what is the name of the band?
Closure in Moscow. They're an Australian rock band.
Okay, Closure in Moscow. I wrote it down, guys. I wrote it down. You can't see it because their fucking white balance is way the fuck off.
That's more of a brightness thing actually than a white balance.
You know what, man?
White balance is the color.
I'm drunk. You're sober. What's your fucking excuse?
I don't need an excuse. I've been drinking pink lemonade. Actually, I haven't been drinking pink lemonade, and that's part of the album.
Pink lemonade is good though.
Yeah, it is.
But they're Australian. Is there a female in the band?
There are 2-3 songs that have female singing in it.
Okay.
And talking in it.
Okay.
Welcome to the shit show.
I don't want to know what kind of genre it is. I'll dive into that. So, I think that is it for surprisingly music.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do some editing and get this posted up.
Edited.
Check us out on Surprisingly Sober. We've got quite a backlog on Surprisingly Music, so you can go and check those out. We've done Paramore.
I thought you meant like for us to upload. I was like,
no. We're caught up. We know what we're doing now.
Yeah,
Woo! Segues are weird.
I thought you were gonna stab me with the pen.
No, I know how to hold a pen in my hand.
Oh, okay. With your fingies?
My Pen 15. Remember that? Pen 15? That was the thing when we were at school.
Penis.
Yeah, now it's like a stupid show on Hulu.
That's dumb.
Okay. This has been Surprisingly Music. Check us out on Surprisingly Sober, where we say dirty, dirty things.
Yeah, because we don't say dirty things on this podcast. This is a good Christian podcast.
Well, it's not like one of us said something about fucking a girl raw, on this podcast.
You did.
I know, that was the fucking show.
Twice now.
I think I said it 3 times.
Oh,
you just didn't hear one.
Oh, dear.
We talked about horses, watching
fucking cattle.
Porn.
And
but yeah.
Sisters.
So this will go up, and then the next one will be Pink Lemonade by Closure in Moscow.
Yes.
And they're an Australian band.
They're Australian.
I love my Aussies. They're bloody good, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth is Australian. Did you know that?
Yeah. Hey,
so
did you know?
Hugh Jackman.
Did you know Liam Hemsworth is as well?
And the fucking other one. What's the other one's name?
I don't fucking know.
Fucking dead.
Anyway, this has been Surprisingly Music. Just got done listening to Black Keys. It was alright. It was
great. I love it.
It was different. I got to broaden my music horizons a bit, and that's what this is about.
My favorite part was the White Stripes feud. That was great. It's Jack White. It was a Jack White Black Keys feud. There wasn't the White Stripes because Meg White didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, she was just off to the side like, honey.
No, they weren't
stop.
together then.
All right, Jack, shut up.
Yeah, pretty much. So, all right, this is us, r/, signing off. Ow.